Please be advised this podcast features AI cloned voices created with human oversight. All content is reviewed by experts for accuracy and relevance. Welcome to IADS, where retail giants evolve or go extinct. This show is brought to you by the International Association of Department Stores. The question is today, do department stores still have a place in the retail landscape, and what does the future hold? How is this standard influencing consumer behavior, retailer strategies, and the very definition of sustainable fashion? We'll find out more in today's episode.
Right on. It's a very interesting topic, especially since COVID-19 kind of supercharged a lot of what was already happening in retail. And some of the moves we're seeing from the big names are pretty unexpected.
To get us started, let's set the scene. Before the pandemic even entered the picture, online retail was projected to reach 18% of global retail sales by 2021. That forecast seems laughably conservative now, doesn't it?
For sure. The pandemic has really kicked online adoption into high gear. And here's the thing, it's not just a temporary blip. What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in how people shop. So online growth is probably going to keep climbing much faster than anyone thought.
And this is forcing retailers to grapple with some incredibly tough decisions about their physical store footprint.
You bet. Basically, you've got three main strategies emerging. Retailers are scaling back or shuttering completely, completely overhauling existing spaces, or going hard on local stores.
Let's break down these approaches one by one. Tell me about some of the notable store closures we've been seeing.
Well, you've seen a few retailers that have been struggling, having to shut stores and even cease existence. And then there are some with more long term success, shutting down some stores to improve business. One major example is John Lewis over in the UK. They closed up shop at 16 out of their 50 locations, but it's not just shrinkage. They're actually redirecting those freed up funds to breathe new life into the stores that remain.
So, almost like a strategic retrenchment that frees up or opens up resources to reinvest.
Yes, that's correct. You also have retailers like Galerie Lafayette that have turned parts of their regional network over to franchise owners. It is almost like the retailer is hoping that they can reduce their physical load and turn things around with new management.
And what about path number two, the transformation strategy? How are retailers reimagining their physical spaces?
This is where things get really interesting. Department stores are being converted into a wild mix of new concepts. We've seen spaces morph into offices, like Filene's in Boston. There are even dark stores, like El Corte Ingalls in Ibar, that are geared exclusively towards fulfilling online orders. And then you have the Samaritain in Paris, which was redeveloped as a mixed use destination with hotels, shops, and restaurants.
That's a lot of variety. So, you're not just thinking about retail in the traditional sense, you're unlocking a space's potential to be something completely different.
Yes, that's right. You are giving it a chance to be something completely new. A good rule is to see companies that are remodeling, but then you have to watch out for struggling retailers that get bought up but still don't transform.
That third strategy you mentioned was the flagship plus local approach. Walk me through that one.
This is arguably one of the more exciting avenues for retailers to try. The concept involves cultivating the impressive flagships to hold all the retail glory, but also having small, agile retail space to really get all of what physical can give.
What role do the flagship stores have in this plan?
Okay, so the flagships are there to showcase the retailer and be loud about what their brand is. They are there to be a beautiful experience. These brand ambassadors are all about the Instagram pictures and word of mouth. The real deal is what the values are of the business. A great example is Rinascente in Milan and Selfridges in London.
All right, then what are the small places doing?
Those babies are all about getting to the customer needs and really understanding them. This means you have smaller, more curated items so that people don't feel like they're wasting their time. It's really going to help with sales too. This could give more of the old classic retail back.
It sounds like it's important to be flexible and open to growth.
You know it. If there are stores that offer something else or are located near the customer, you get what that classic feeling is with all new opportunities. The biggest takeaway is getting what is already there and improving upon it.
I noticed you pointed out architecture. What is so special about it?
You're right. I did. Well, I want to point out that you cannot sell with the appeal of architecture and great design alone. This is all about striking the right balance between eye catching space and real business sense. You see it all the time. There are all these businesses that are going under, but their remodels are amazing. This is really about customer acquisition cost.
So you are paying for this expensive building.
Yeah, to give you an example, check out Selfridges by Amanda Latte. There are many other stores that are doing the right thing and they all show it.
Okay, I see what you mean. But what is the all important human factor?
You got to really know about customer service and what the business wants their people to say. Customer interaction is a great way to get to people and show them what the store has to offer.
It sounds like it's important for store owners to get what that vibe is of where they're heading.
Yes, you should empower your employees, and that'll lead to the success of salespeople to create better customer interactions that lead to more sales.
Let's make sure we take away the great messages here.
There are a lot of things to get. You can't think of department stores like rocks. They can be adapted and you can have change. The goal is to understand that technology is great and all, but we need to remember the basics of the human condition.
All in all, it's important to continue to innovate and be willing to try.
That is a solid statement. And if you look around, you can see there are retailers that continue to come back around to get bought, but there is no evolution to show.
Well, that is it for this episode on store strategy. Thank you for joining us today on IADS Retail Park. The story of this retail problem reminds us that sometimes looking back can inspire us to move forward.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue bringing actionable insights from the world of retail innovation.
For more exclusive content, check out our Substack at IADS, Exclusive Insights. Dive deeper into the stories and strategies transforming the retail landscape today. And don't forget to follow IADS on LinkedIn for updates, insights, and success stories from the world's leading department stores.